Hey friends, welcome to the next video. Today we have something new for you here on our channel. Now, when you hear something new, I don't want you to get worried that we're changing the format of our channel. No, we're going to remain that fun, family-friendly content that you're used to watching and enjoying here on our channel. With the vlogs, the family unboxings, the food, and all of the rest of the fun we do here on our channel. But we're adding something new. And we're putting it into a specific playlist. You know we have playlists here on this channel, right? If you didn't, we do. We have a lot of different playlists where we categorize all of our videos so it's easier for you to find the content that you want to watch. And we put them in our playlist. So if you don't know where they are at, go to the main page of this YouTube channel and click on playlists. When you find the playlist and you open it up, you're going to see a lot of different organized categories that you can select from, like Caleb's Clubhouse and a lot of other things. This is just one more playlist that we're adding to our channel, and it's all about amateur radio. Why? Well, let me give you a little bit of a backstory. About a month ago, a little bit more than a month ago, I started studying for my amateur radio license. Now, amateur radio licenses here in the United States are in three categories. They start off with technician, then general, and then amateur extra. So I started studying for my technician license about a little more than a month ago. And I took the exam and I passed it. At that point in time, I became an official amateur radio operator here in the United States, and I was completely happy. But there are limitations of what you can do with the technician license, and I wanted to do more. So I started studying for my next level license, and that is the general license. And I took that exam and I passed it, and I got my general license as an amateur radio operator here in the United States. And I'm studying now for the amateur extra. So you can see the stages: technician, general, amateur extra. I'm a general licensed amateur radio operator here in the United States. Now, the reason why I'm putting this playlist together is because when I was starting to study for my technician, I started watching a lot of different videos on YouTube about amateur radio, trying to learn as much as I could. But some of the videos were so advanced, I really didn't know what they were talking about, and I felt a little lost. So I thought, hey, when I get my license and I start building my first base station, which is how we're starting off this video series, I wanted to share my experience as I get into my first base station. Because, I didn't know everything that I know now, and I want to share what I know with you, because if you're interested in getting your amateur radio license, hopefully this will help. Hopefully this will help you select some gear, understand the differences, and just overall have fun with this hobby. Now, because if you're not sure what ham radio is, it is a hobby, but it's a hobby and a service that brings people, electronics, and communication together. And people use ham radio to talk not only across town like a CB or something like that, but you can also talk around the world or even into space on amateur radio. Isn't that cool? I thought that was the most amazing thing when I started reading about that, going, wow, I can talk to the space station from my house on my radio without the internet or cell phones or a house landline. Some people don't even have those anymore, but it's a lot of fun. It's the original social network. It's also educational. You can learn a lot of things. You can get into building antennas and all this other stuff. And it also can be a lifeline during times of need. So this is the start of the series called Ham Radio. So if you want to watch the series and all of the videos that we'll be putting together for this, all you have to do is go to the main part of this YouTube page, find playlist, click on playlist. It'll open up all of our different playlists that we have here on our channel. And there's a lot. We categorize them so that you can easily find the content that you want to watch, like Caleb's Clubhouse. And so just like that, we are going to have a playlist called Ham Radio. It's going to have a multitude of different content inside of that playlist, from unboxings, tips, tricks, how-tos, setup videos, and just having fun while we're on the air in amateur radio. So let's get to the first unboxing and let's have some fun. All right, here we have it, the ALINCO DM-330MV switching power supply. And you're asking yourself right now, Scotty, why do I got to buy a power supply? Doesn't the radio I buy have its own power supply? And the answer is no. And I know that sounds crazy, but it is what it is. And well, let me preface. If you buy an HT, the little hand talkies, little walkie-talkie, little amateur radios, that's all in one. So it comes with its battery, it comes with its power cord to charge it up, an antenna. So it's an all-in-one device. But if you're setting up a base station, then you're going to need to get an external power supply. And that power supply allows for your transceiver, and if that's a new term for you as well, a transceiver is a transmitter and a receiver all in one box. So if you have a police scanner at your house or a weather radio scanner at your house, that is a receiver. So you can receive the signal, but you can't transmit back out. A transceiver allows you to receive and transmit all out of the same device. So that's why they call it a transceiver. Those transceivers run on DC current and your house runs on AC current. So we need to convert that AC to DC and provide the necessary voltage and amperage for your transceiver to operate. And that's what this is all about. So let's take a look at the box. Pretty simple packaging right there. Over here on this side, we see much of the same on this side. Over here, some products and serial numbers and whatnot. So let's get straight into the packaging. Oh, let's look at the bottom. Nothing on the bottom. Very simplistic packaging on this power supply. We open it up and we see the first thing. Warning, do not touch. May be extremely hot surface. Let cool down before touching. That's important. I'm leaving that sticker on there because that's going to be a reminder to me when this thing is running that this thing can get hot and I don't want to burn myself. So let's take it out of the box and set it off to the side real fast. Oh, a little roll that I guess was keeping that in place from moving around the box. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit smaller than the box, so they added this little roll of cardboard so that it would keep it from moving around. We don't need that right now. All right, what else is in here? We have a warranty card. Make sure we fill this out and send it in for our power supply so that we can have the manufacturer warranty covered, and a user manual. Now, I don't know anybody who reads these, and frankly, I can't read any of that because I don't read that language. I read English, American English. So, oh, they do have they have it in English too. Wow. All right, so still having some fun here. Again, we're keeping it light, fun, friendly because, hey, I would learn this on the fly, and I'm trying to share that experience with you. So we're going to take that box, set it off to the side, set this paperwork off to the side, and let's take a look at the power supply itself. It's in a bag, so we need to get the bag open. All right. All right, the bag is out. And we have our power cord. It is a non-removable power cord. So if something happens to this power cord, you're going to have to open up this device and repair the power cord on the inside. It's all about the fun of ham radio, that you'll start to learn about electronics and whatnot, and you'll be able to repair your devices yourself. So we have our power cord here, pretty long one. I assume that it's probably about 6 feet long, if not 3 feet at a minimum. And on the back, we got some power poles where we can connect our radio to, should we want to put it back here and plug it in. Output is 32 amps max on this power pole setting. We have our cooling fan right here, a pretty small one. Hopefully it's not too loud, but I like that it's screwed on right here from the back. So if it is loud, or providing any RF interference into the radio area, or also known as the shack, then I can remove this and replace it with a more quiet fan. So that's here. We have a preset adjustment. This one is set at 32 amps, at 13.8 volts. That is the preset for this. But if I wanted to adjust it, I could. The preset is off. So let's take a look at the front of the power supply. We have a max 10 amp DC outlet like you would have in your vehicle that you can plug something in, but it's only 10 amps max coming out of this port right here. 32 amps max on the back, 10 amps max coming out of that port. And over here, you've got some power poles down here on the front that you can plug some ancillary devices in as well. And they tell you up here, the maximum amp outage of this is 5 amps. Now, I know that the transceiver that I have needs 30 amps to run. So I can't plug my transceiver here into the front or into this port. I'm going to be plugging my power cords from my radio, my transceiver, into these ports here on the back, which will make it look nice and clean because from the front you won't see any of the cables. They'll be all tucked up behind the power supply right here. You've got a little meter right here that will switch from voltage to amperage using this switch right here. So if I want to check my volts, I leave it here and it'll show me the volts being used on the power supply. If I want to see the amps, I will flip it down there to the A and it'll show me the amps on the power supply. Right? And over here, we have the on and off switch for the power supply. So as soon as I plug it into the wall outlet here in the United States, we have a 3-prong right there. Then I just flip this switch and then it sends power to the power supply. And at that point, my out comes here, goes to my radio. I will be able to turn on the radio and be able to broadcast at that point. So it's got some nice beefy heat sinks up here at the top. So that's nice. Remember, this will be extremely hot. Let cool before touching. You don't want to touch the top of this. So make sure if you have kids around that you protect them from touching that hot surface. On the bottom, some nice rubber feet to keep it securely in place on the surface of wherever you're going to be placing this. And down here on the bottom, we've got the ALINCO DM-330MV T power supply, DC power supply you see there, 120 volts AC, 50 to 60 hertz, output 5 through 50 volts, and DC at 30 amps. And then, of course, you got our serial number right there. So that is basically it. Hope you liked seeing this unboxing. It's not that big. You know, we're talking, you know, the size of, let's see if I have a remote here. This is a Fire TV remote, and you can see that it's not much wider than a Fire TV remote and not much longer than a Fire TV remote. So it kind of gives you an idea of the size of it. So if you're trying to space it out for your location, you kind of have an idea. Grab yourself a Fire TV remote if you have one, or a Roku remote. They're all about the same size, and the remote is about the same width and the same depth as these together. And I'd say high, it's about 3 inches high, so not big at all. And it will sit nicely here on this table here that I'm going to be using for my power supply and my transceiver. So I hope you liked the unboxing today. I'll be showing you more videos of this in use and showing the meters being in use in other videos. But this is the unboxing of the ALINCO DM-330MV power supply from ALINCO that will be powering my transceiver in my amateur radio station. So hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to like. Don't forget to comment down below what you thought about the video. If you are an amateur radio operator and you have this power supply specifically, drop a comment on what you think about it. And if there's any tips, tricks, or anything that you want to share with us, let us know. Oh, this up here. This is interesting as well because this allows us to adjust not only the voltage, but also a noise offset. So if there is noise being generated by this that's being picked up by your transceiver, then you can start to adjust the noise offset, and it will help to cancel out that noise that's being ingested or interrupting your transceiver. And of course, your voltage adjustment is right there. So if you have a system that needs less voltage, you can turn it down, or you can turn it all the way up to the max voltage. But remember, it does have a preset on it that will stop everything at 13.8 volts. So if I turn on that switch right here, that preset, then this becomes non-usable. So just keep that in mind. If you do have this power supply, turning on the preset, leaving it where it is, caps everything off at 13.8 volts. And if you start messing with this knob up here in the front, it's not going to really do anything. So make sure that you read the manual thoroughly on that. But that's what that preset switch on off does. It basically disables this from cranking up the amperage or cranking down the amperage, which could harm your radio. So I wanted to quickly get that in because I forgot to share that with you. Anyways, don't forget to like this video, comment down below, and stay tuned for more videos here on the ham radio playlist, all about the base station, all about my hand talkie, and all of my experiences. And if you have questions about amateur radio, I will try to answer them. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm a general licensed amateur radio operator, so I will share what I know, and I will learn from you who comment into our videos as well. So thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next video. Wow, that's pretty cool.